Here hex 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 hex. 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 Here hex 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 hex.
Hi everybody. Welcome to another Hex Guild episode. This one's Valentine's Day, so I gotta give you a kiss. Mwah. So that's what it looks like to be adorned by EcoBuilder. I put on a little shirt. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. If you get off on that sort of thing, the materializing of our love towards each other. Over there on Hex Asians, Daraj said the other day, you still have time. You still have time to sell that gift or put your money towards Hex instead of Valentine's Day. But hey, you're out of time now. If it is that you made it this far. So it's funny how he and I think similarly, and I blame the zodiacs. I used to think that it's breakup holiday. If it is that you're unhappy on Thanksgiving or Valentine's Day, then like hey, this is a sign. Take that sign. Go make yourself happy. But like for young men, it's very telling. If you're not interested in doing something on your own behalf to invest in the relationship and help both of you flourish and have a wonderful day, it's telling. Like, where is it that your priorities are? Because young men, they're often bottlenecked or forced into doing whatever it is that their mothers think that they should be doing for mom's approval. All right. Hexwood, nice shirt. Thank you so much. HOA's in the house. And prior to me going live, Alan was here flipping around with his Dolphin flipper. Okay, so live streaming. Usually you have like this idea, and if you don't do it immediately, you are only working on the tail end of that energy that you had whenever you had this idea for the live stream. So today we do not have a presenter. Today I am the presenter. Ooh, check these out. These are from the Aussie folks. So here is my Hex and Pulse chain jewelry. A nice thick chain so it doesn't get ripped off from whatever activities I could be doing. All right, so this one is Pulse chain and Pulse X. This other one was just Hex and Pulse chain. So of course I love the Hex and Pulse chain one. So what did I name this episode? Something about dolphins, like follow the dolphins. I had this idea where it'd be like really cool if we found a dolphin's wallet, or maybe even a squid or a turtle or something, and we would analyze where they are and where the markets are, and what my advice would be for them maintaining their position in the system of Hex, and maybe even going further, or maybe they wait a little bit liquid instead of staking everything that they have in order to capitalize whenever the market goes up, take some profits, and put some back down into staking whenever it is that. So you take profits, then you wait for the market to go down, you buy back in, and you blanket out your stakes at a cheaper price, and have those T-shares. So we're playing with a funny situation right now because we're expecting the market to go up. So maybe you don't want to stake all of your hex right now. But those folks that are in the Dolphin position, that means that they have a lot of T-shares, right? So a Dolphin will be 1,000 T-shares and up to 10,000 T-shares. And then arriving at 10,000 T-shares, that's where a shark level is. And then on up to a whale, okay? So the Dolphins are sitting at 1,000 and above, and then 1,000 downward, I think, are squids, and then turtles down below them, okay? So the guys who are turtles and squids and dolphins, y'all pay attention to what I'm about to present to you, because y'all pay attention. Y'all have some stuff that's available to you. And what's happened in the past is projects have been created in order to benefit hex stakers. Whether those projects are piggybacking on what Hex has done and what Richard Hart has done or not, we are now so far into those projects that had free airdrops and ongoing airdrops to hex stakers that their bottoms, they have bottomed out and come back up. So we're sitting in a position where it might be financially I don't know, appropriate for me, of all people, who never talks about charts and never talks about too much into finances, especially not talking about other projects, right? To mention to you that there might be money left on the table, as Crypto Coffee says it whenever he talks about this certain project. So, one of the projects you already know. You know really, really well. That's Hedron. The other project you may not know so well, and it may have just brushed right over, and that's Communists, which we had a joke about. Oh, this is communist. Why would you name it that? And it was made by people in the Hex community. So those are the two things that I'm going to talk about. And what I want you to recognize, like I had this stuff set up so that I would go through it, but my monologue's just going. What I want you to realize is that if you have a certain amount of T-shares, times that by $10, and that's probably how much you have on the table over at Communists. So if you're a turtle and you have 100 T-shares, I'm not sure. Times that by $10, you have $1,000 worth of communist token waiting for you at communist.app. Go over there. It's been around long enough in our community to where no one has figured there being a bug. So I trust it. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk about it. Go over there and see what you have as far as a start stake bonus and an in stake bonus. You heard me right. There's a start stake bonus and there's an end stake bonus. And if you are to go and do more staking, then once the day ticks over and that stake has been certified in the hex system, you will have more available to you. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Have y'all had the girls come into your life in the last few days? Hey, just letting you know I'm here. Well, happy Valentine's Day, girl. Let me give you some digital kisses. What up, Glenn? All right. So, have I gotten my point across? Let me share my screen. So let's look at hex.pink, because I love this site. If you haven't seen hex.pink, this is what hex.pink looks like. It's great for new people on boards. So here you're able to toggle the bar. It gives you an understanding of how much it's going to cost per how much hex. And then how long do you want to stake it? So this was auto-populated for 15.2 years. And then let's say 10,000 hex for 15 years. And then we're not really worried about the official payout in dollar amounts. Instead, let's just look at it in hex amount. So the 15.2 years multiplies. Where does it multiply? Your principal. Where is the longer pays bet? Yeah, there it is. Longer pays better bonus, which is twice as much as your principal, which means it triples your principal. Here we see that with effective hex immediately. And how many T-shares does that get you? It gets you 0.93 T-shares. I love looking at this in order to calculate what it takes to get T-shares. I'm not one of those people that has to have like a round off amount of T-shares. I'm not going to stake until I can get one full T-share. Well, sorry to break it to you, but if we weren't talking in trillions of shares, we'd be talking in billions of shares. Let's just talk shares. Can you afford shares? Everybody can afford shares. So like whenever it is that I'm in Twitter spaces and introducing hex to people, I'm always the person who raises my hand and says, hey, T-share just means trillion. Let's simplify that stuff. All right, so going over to a fresh MetaMask wallet. You guys know what this stuff looks like, and it looks like this is on the Ethereum chain. I haven't changed my settings. I'm not going to. The reason why I have this installed in my browser is so that I could go to the communist thing, but let's go to Hedron first. So remember, Hedron, like, if you guys haven't taken advantage of Hedron as a hex staker, I think you've been missing out. And that's all I can tell you. So like a part of me doing this is to tell you that by being involved in hex and being so deeply involved, let's say, I mean, it really didn't take that much money in the beginning to become a part of hex and to start following Richard. And then Richard gives good deals, right? So he'll give you a fair shake if you just trust and become involved. Well, I did that, and I became a Dolphin in the hex system. And whenever it is that new things become available, then they'll airdrop it to you folks. So you turtles, you squids, you dolphins, you sharks, y'all are getting things just gifted to you, just thrown at you. And you got to be aware of security situations but you're able to harvest and further diversify and fortify your position, your portfolio. So there's less things that can go wrong going forward. So this is what's so awesome about being involved in Hex is you get free shit. Okay. So over here on Hedron, if you were paying attention in the early days of Hedron, you had the capability of interacting with their protocol. There was a bonus in the beginning, and they had it to where they wanted everybody's attention. They wanted to do this awesome launch, and the way that they got our attention was they said, if you interact with this, if you claim your bonus status in the first week, then you get a 10 times bonus every time you mint something. Like on the you had to go claim it per stake, but your optimum bonus was 10. Then if you waited till week 2, then your optimum bonus was 9. And then on down the line for 10 weeks until the bonuses ran out. So what did this Dolphin do? I visited Hedron. I listened to the community and was like, okay, is this safe? Is this safe? Like, my security matters most. I'm not losing my bags, right? Okay. So I interact with their protocol, and on every large stake that was above 1 million hex and for a long period of time, I made sure that I ran the function that was probably like $3 to $5 per, in saying I want this 10 times bonus. And so if I go and I look at the tablature of my stakes as Hedron looks at them on the availability of mintable Hedron, it'll show me whether it has a 10 times bonus or a 0 bonus. And the 0 bonus would be the ones that I either didn't think that it was worth it, or which a few of them now I wish that I had. Or they're ones that I have done since then. Okay, so new stakes in Hex you don't have the opportunity to multiply your Hedron returns. Okay, so that was another instance where just being aware and taking the time to I don't know, see what's available really benefited us. Hey, Alan, welcome to the stream. Sometimes whenever I don't have a guest, I do whatever the fuck I want. So my bad about that. And hey, Finbear, I'm glad you're not asleep right now. Yeah, so what I'm talking about is like how whenever you interact with Hex and you are a Hex staker, over time there will be more things that become available to you, and it's just one of those things where you couldn't see it exactly how it was going to happen, but with more opportunities come more opportunities to diversify, fortify yourself, and never have to return downwards, let's say. HOA, says Alan, called the Hedron top on the day. That's hilarious. All right, so let's time marker, like, where are we at in the markets? Hex on Pulse went up to basically 2 cents recently, and then went back down to 1.77 right now. Pulse is almost at 50% above SAC rate, and I can't wait for it to hit that. So we're looking at 30146 right now, and I think it got up to 30149 recently. But let's get to that 3015, and I think it's going to look amazing. And then PulseX is still struggling, I guess, but hey, it looks pretty strong because it's above 50% SAC rate. And then ink is always our questionable thing. Like, what is the true value of the ink? And it's going to be based on the folks who are earning it inside the pools. But I have high hopes for it because I haven't sold any of the ink that I've been earning from the pools. And I've analyzed this on Hex Futures channel, that I see ink as Richard Hart's wand token, exactly what the first editions of the design for the token symbol, first editions were this wand, magic wand. Let's go back to talking about Hedron. So if you're not familiar with Hedron, please get familiar. Yeah, I do trust that you can take your Hedron and use the system. In the past, I have scraped my Hedron and gifted it to folks that are friends of mine in order for them to pick up cheaper T-shares on the market over here, because Hedron has that lending system where if you've got a hex stake that you initialized in the Hedron system, then you're able to turn it into an NFT to then send it to another wallet. But you can also get collateral on that. You can also sell it to Hedron, and then they'll put it inside an auction, and then folks can bid on the price of that. And typically you'll get, like, you're not able to decide, of course, when it is that this hex share becomes due, but you can get a discounted hex share. Ooh, Benny Blanco's in the chat. Marcavelli too. All right, so if it is that you don't need your Hedron, you can just get more hex with it, is my point. So let's go on to communists. We're at 24 minutes now with this live stream. I didn't really have like a plan to go for a really long time. If you guys want to hop on, let me go ahead and hit this invite link. It's now being pasted into the chat. So that's if anybody wants to come on. But today I'm just talking about, how the abundance inside crypto. Richard Hart has talked about how there is a free lunch in crypto. There is a free lunch. Have you all ever been out on the town? been a person that it's like meeting up for possible business, like who's going to pay for lunch if somebody wants to interview you and see if y'all are a good fit for business and y'all meet over at a place. Lunch is so much more casual than dinner, right? Coffee's casual as well. So it's that sort of thing. Like, are you going to get your lunch paid for? And so Richard said in some old YouTube videos, some YouTube videos years back, there is actually a free lunch, and it's in crypto. Alan is asking, see, Alan went and harvested all the COM token that was available to him, and now he wants to know if he needs to mint the rest of his COM token before or after he ends his stake with the Hex contract. Alan, I'm not an expert, but I would do it the same way that you do your Hedron, where once it is that you've waited out your time period, then go ahead and mint your COM token and mint your Hedron. And then go over to your Hex and in-stake that. But I don't know exactly how the COM token works. Like, they might give you credit, right? Credit for hanging out throughout the ending time period of your Hex stake. And that's the point of COM. The point of COM is to it was created by folks inside the Hex system. They believe the Hex system should have had some, I don't know, better way of rewarding people to follow through with their stakes. So they give you this little start bonus, which is just a portion of the amount of money that you put in for the stake there in the Hex system. And that's why they're calling it a secret weapon, special weapon of Hex. Because listen to this special weapon of Hex. This is what the argument is that Timothy Benjamin, Crypto Coffee, and a few of the other guys are saying. You are able to tell an onboard, if you stake for 5555 in the Hex system, the amount of money that you put down for that, you could just about get that out of the COM system by going and minting your start bonus. Because you started the stake, you can now go and mint that start bonus. So now you have some COM token, which is the equivalent of what you just spent in the Hex system. So do with it what you please. But that is the argument right now with the COM token, is that your onboards who take the chance of 5555 staking right out there in the beginning, they have the capability of recapturing that value immediately, as if it didn't cost them anything. And, anybody's able to do this, right? So I'm talking about the COM token right now because whenever it released, it had a bunch of people that were dolphins and turtles and squids that went and got as much COM token as they could, and they dumped it on the chart, on the COM token chart. And now we're on the other side of that dip, and everybody's forgotten about it. But yet there's still liquidity pools set up for this COM if it is that you want to go and get some of the value. So I'm hoping that here on this Valentine's Day, I'm telling you that there's free fucking money out there. Go get it. If you have a T-share, you have $10 worth of COM waiting for you. If you have 100 T-shares, you have $1,000 worth of COM waiting for you. If you have 500 T-shares, you have $5,000 waiting for you. If you're a dolphin and you haven't yet harvested any of your COM token, that means that you have $10,000 waiting for you. If you're a nice little dolphin at 2,000 T-shares, sitting pretty nice up in the system, 2,000 T-shares. Wait, did I say that right? Yeah. If you were at 2,000 T-shares, little dolphin, then you could buy 1 million hex right now with that. That's my opinion. Whoever has 1,700 or 1,800 T-shares right now can buy 1 million hex with the amount of COM that they can harvest right now. All right. So did I tear that up? Yeah. I lost one viewer in that time period where I just beat that up on the washboard. All right. So don't worry about the Ethereum side when you're getting this communist. Pay attention to the Pulse side. What's already over there in on that side of the bridge. My estimations is that the Ethereum side communist token is like 60 times less valuable as the Pulse side. I got a compliment on my chair. Thank you very much. And then I've also got the jewels from the Aussies. So this one is the Hex and Pulse. The other one has Pulse X on it. Yeah, I'm 6 foot, and some people think that that I'm small and the chair's big. Actually, the chair's ginormous. All right, so back to communists. So this is communist.app. And then just click on dashboard. And then I think it'll ask you to connect wallet. Let's connect wallet, MetaMask. Oh, it doesn't recognize that I already have MetaMask in here. So let's update. Oh, we got Asperger's. What up? What up? What up? All right, so everybody check out the right side. I'm connecting my MetaMask to Communist. This is just a MetaMask that I just downloaded, so there's no funds on it, and I showed you that earlier. Oh, I made the mistake of being on Ethereum. So guys, make sure that you change the network settings. Maybe even visit pulsex.com and have it to where they change the settings for you. But then, yeah, there we go. So this is what it will look like. It'll state the smart contract up at the top. It tells you that this is your dashboard. And then the amount of communists that you leave inside the system staked. And then the in bonus debt, meaning you have what is it? You have the start stake bonus and the in stake bonus to generate to mint COM token. But every time you take from the system, then this end bonus debt, notice it says debt right there, that is going to increase. And it's because you're supposed to leave some behind, and you're supposed to stake it. So I believe that you're supposed to make this debt go to 0 in order for you to continue to mint communist end stake bonuses. And so that's like the easiest way for me to explain this to you. And like I said, I'm not an expert on the exact numbers, but the idea is to pay you back for waiting out your entire length of stake, and also pay you back for staking in the first place. And so it gives you that little start stake bonus. Hey, Asperger's.
Hey, have you done this already?
I have pulled from their value. Yes.
Nice vague answer.
I have done what Alan says that he did. He minted all that it was available to him, and he hasn't done it for months now. And so I'm the opposite. I minted all that was available to me, and I left behind an amount that makes it to where my in-stake debt is equal down to 0. But like I say, guys, if you have one T-share, you have $10 worth of COM available to you. If you have 1,000 T-shares, you have $10,000 worth of COM waiting for you.
Finbear's not trusting your math on there. He's saying you're 10x too high.
Oh, I'm 10x too high, meaning you only have $1 per T-share.
Yeah, maybe.
Finbear, clear that up for me.
Yeah, 10 T-shares is $10. So one T-share is $1.
I think the value is. I don't think so, Finbear. If you're thinking, I'm thinking too, and I don't think so.
I don't know. I think I got almost like $1,200 when I minted and sold it a long time ago. Like as soon as I heard about it.
That was a long time ago. That's what I'm getting at. The price is now 300 times that. I mean, not 300 times that. 300% of that.
Yeah. And it's confusing with the E hex, P hex, or each side, E side and P side, whichever side's worth more.
And I said that earlier. It's basically 60 times less value over on the E side. So just don't even mess with it. Don't worry about it. Ain't worth your time unless you're a shark.
Yeah, those big numbers are wild I can't even. It's like trillions or whatever for $1. isn't it? It's like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You'll be sitting there counting how many zeros there are on the left side of the decimal. You know, often we're sitting there counting up how many zeros it is down on the right side of the decimal, but with COM token, you'll be on the other side.
nice.
And then you'll be able to interact with Pulse X as well as GoPulse, gopulse.com/swap.
They got liquidity.
Yeah. And so the slippage, it adds up, but if it is that we're just talking like $1,000, guys, it's not going to be a huge amount of slippage. And so by me saying this, I don't want you to get the idea that I'm like promoting attacking the system and dumping this chart. Instead, like my outreach isn't much in the first place. So I'm just bringing the subject up, making people more aware, people that I hope, I don't know for a fact, but I hope are entrenching themselves in T-shares already. And this is just one of those examples of what is available.
Yeah, I heard a concern troll in the chat last night, someone asking about just the concern of connecting to another site. Because it's based on your T-shares, you have to connect your wallet of those big ass T-shares to
Yes.
get the stuff. So I mean, I've connected, and sounds like you've connected, and others have connected. So more than likely things are good. If not, you probably would have heard something by now. But hopefully things are good. I don't know enough about code to give it 100% of anything, but I mean,
and that is another point of what I'm getting at with being a dolphin, a squid, a turtle, a shark in the hex system. Is earlier you don't jump into something and risk your security. Instead, you sit back, you allow people to figure out what is right and wrong with security aspects, and then you eventually, whenever things calm down, make your move. Because we're not about
calm down.
risking all of our bags. We're not about being the absolute first to something. We're about strategically maintaining our position in crypto and diversifying the woes, right? The problems. So whenever Calm came out, it's like, wow, that seems like it could be some, like, I freaking hate the name, but it's
blue token, Democrat token.
but some of the people who are promoting it seems like they're putting themselves on the line, their reputation on the line. So let's see, if if their reputation is going to fall straight through or not. And then a lot of people went and took that free money and they dumped it. And that's what now 2 people are telling me since I started the stream. And then came a dip and then a rise back up. And here we are on the other side of that. And that's what happens with the seasons of crypto. And so we recognize, like, we've had time for people to analyze wallet security in relation to COM token dashboard connection, and things seem to be appropriate, and otherwise I would not be talking about it.
Yeah, you're putting your reputation on the line, speaking of anything. So, I mean, other than people's own due diligence and making choices for themselves, is, I mean, to bring it up puts your reputation somewhere, you know. If it turned out to be a pile of rugs, then, you know, you're going to be tarnished for it. So, I mean, it's already been X amount of time and it's done what it's supposed to do so far. So if the history is any accordance of the future, then it seems to be fine. But there's no guarantee anywhere. But that's another part of the game theory of like people who what's it gonna take for certain people to be willing to connect to certain sites. Like what is, like there's probably weird data on that of like what dollar amount is it going to take for someone to be like, oh wait, I got how much sitting over there that I haven't, you know. It's the same thing as like the whole copy of the pulse chain. Like people are got a copy of all their tokens, and some of those tokens, like some people really don't like pulse chain or Richard Hart, but if their token is copied, same as like, you know, with this calm, if you have something to go get for free, it's like you have a risk involved, but at what dollar amount is it going to be worth it for people to migrate and learn something new?
Yeah, and like in the case of pulse chain creation, I suppose a lot of folks are able to just sit around and see if the pulse chain side appreciates and then decide later on whether they want to come and harvest their value or not.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're like, because there was a starting bonus or something if you had to claim that before a certain amount of time. I don't know if there was any timer on that for calm.
We're talking about calm on pulse chain side or both sides?
Yeah, both sides. I know you get a bonus by clicking buttons like early enough.
The way it works is you have a start stake bonus for every hex stake that you've created, and you've got in stake bonus for every hex stake that you've ended. So Alan was asking the question earlier, do you need to, is it like Hedron? Do you need to visit it right before you end your hex stake?
I know, but that when you first start it, you get like a bonus for like early bonus, whatever, for clicking the buttons early. So I don't know how that relation is with people that didn't click the buttons yet. Are they being penalized by not hitting that early start bonus, or can they click it at any time? You know,
I think you can click it at any time. I just don't know
if it's
whether
penalizing anything.
It's for previous hex stakes. Like say you had an old wallet that you only used for the first year of hex. Can you plug in that wallet and get all of the start and end bonuses for that now that time has already passed and everything? I don't know. But the way that they're summing it up with it being Hex's secret weapon is that you can go and stake like 5555 with a small amount of money, and then you can go and generate a start stake bonus over on Calm and get that money right back, that same value just about.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Can you do it with an HSI too? You could like create it, get the Calm, and then sell the HSI. Like double your money instantly.
That's interesting that you say that. I do think that you can create an HSI and it be recognized by Calm.
That would be a funny arbitrage. People would just be doubling their money right now just by clicking the right buttons.
We should start asking around and see if anybody's done that. So the idea is that you go to Hedron, you create an HSI, you sell it to Hedron, now you have Hedron token. But you also, well, before you sell it to Hedron, you have to go over to Calm, generate your Calm token.
Yeah, and then go sell it. I don't know. I've never sold an HSI, so I wouldn't know. You sell it right back to Hedron, or is there got to be a market for it?
I think you put it up. I don't know. You borrow against it, and then
Oh yeah,
whenever you don't pay back that loan, then they automatically put it into auction.
Nice. That's probably an arbitrage opportunity. I don't know if it would calculate if the Calm was, taken out yet or not. Or, I mean, as Calm goes up, I mean, that maybe you could buy an HSI stake or something, mint the Calm, like it would just be worth the Calm. I don't know. I haven't messed with the HSI market. I know there's been a lot of opportunity over there, but I don't know anything about it. I've got like 2 HSI stakes just for fun.
So Alan is providing us a lot of value in the chat. He says that Axis Alive is going to be with the creator of Calm tomorrow. And then also he thinks that Sloth said that you can't do this arbitrage idea that Asperger's just came up with. I don't know. But I still think my math is right. If you have, for every T-share that you have right now inside the Hex system, you have $10 worth of value waiting for you in the Calm on the P side. Do with that information what you will. I hope it makes your ground more fertile here in the spring that most of us are coming to. Alan says he's in the chat down here saying that it won't recognize an HSI. It won't recognize a Hedron HSI. Okay, so that can make sense. Like, it only recognizes what's interacting with the contract, the Hex contract, one-to-one. That sounds good. I like that. That's smart. Well, Asperger's, you got anything before I click the end button?
No, my dog's going crazy.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everything. It's our awesome journey here in crypto as Hex stakers. This is the Hex Guild channel. We're hex everything, and it's been freaking awesome. So I hope that y'all cherish your loved ones around you and have a wonderful day.